Candidates will be presented by Dean Karen Bacon.
Mr. President, I am pleased to present to you 87 women who have successfully completed the curriculum for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 10 who have completed a course of study leading to a Jewish Studies certificate, and 1 who has earned a Hebrew teacher's diploma. On behalf of the faculty of Stern College, I respectfully request that you award these degrees and diplomas. I am pleased to call on Miss Sally Roth to represent the class.
Yeshiva College, Dean Daniel Kershaw will present
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you 188 men who have completed the required course of study for the degree of Bachelor of Arts at Yeshiva College. They have earned the approbation of the faculty, and I respectfully request that this degree be conferred upon them. I am pleased to call on Mr. Harry Skydell to represent the class.
Will all the candidates expecting degrees please rise?
You have successfully completed the requirements for diplomas and degrees as prescribed by the faculties of the undergraduate schools of Yeshiva University. In addition, you have revealed a degree of enthusiasm, although not prescribed by the faculties. By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of Yeshiva University, I hereby award you your diplomas and confer upon you the respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto, and as token thereof, I have presented symbolic diplomas to your class representatives.
We come now to what I understand is a very important tradition at Yeshiva University called the tassel ceremony. So, will all undergraduates receiving a bachelor's degree for the first time now move the tassels on their caps from right to left? You may be seated. I don't want your enthusiasm to be dampened, but we will proceed now to the graduate schools. Wirtzweiler School of Social Work. The candidates will be presented by Dean Lloyd Setleys.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you here today 121 students who have completed the requisite course of study for the degree of Master of Social Work at Wirtzweiler School of Social Work, and 1 for the degree of Doctor of Social Welfare. I am also pleased to inform you that on Friday, July 14th, an additional 43 students will have qualified for the degree of Master of Social Work through the block education program. They have earned the approbation of the faculty. I respectfully request that these degrees be conferred upon them. I am pleased to call on Mr. Arthur Weingarten to represent the class.
Belfer Graduate School of Science candidates will be presented by University Dean of the Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Dr. David Finkelstein.
Mr. President, I'm happy to present to you 16 candidates for the degree of Master of Arts and 14 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. The faculty of the Belfer Graduate School of Science respectfully requests you to confer these degrees upon the candidates. I'm pleased to call on Mr. Daniel Weil to represent the class.
The Furkhoff Graduate School of Humanities and Social Science candidates will be presented by Dean Morton Berger.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you a group of students from the Furkhoff Graduate School who are candidates for the following degrees: 82 for the Master of Science degree, 14 for the Master of Arts degree, 23 for the Specialist Certificate, 8 for the Doctor of Education degree, and 25 for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. These candidates have completed all degree requirements and have been approved for the degrees by the faculty and the appropriate administrative officers of Furkhoff Graduate School. In view of these facts, I respectfully request that you confer these degrees upon them. I am pleased to call upon Mrs. Lynn Diamond to represent the class.
Albert Einstein College of Medicine, Dean Ephraim Friedman.
President, I have the honor to announce that 182 students have completed the required course of study for the degree of Doctor of Medicine at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and 19 have completed their studies leading to the Doctor of Philosophy degree at Sue Golding Graduate Division of Medical Sciences. The degrees were awarded at a separate commencement exercises held on May 18th. I respectfully request that on this occasion you confirm the action taken then.
Bernard Revel Graduate School and the Harry Fischel School for Higher Jewish Studies. The candidates will be presented by Dean Chaim Soloveitchik.
Mr. President, I am pleased to present one candidate for the degree of Master of Arts at the Harry Fischel School for Higher Jewish Studies. At Bernard Revel Graduate School, I have the honor of presenting 22 candidates for the degree of Master of Science. For the degree of Master of Arts, I present 9 candidates who have completed their course of study and have written master's projects. 3 students have completed their requirements for Doctor of Philosophy degree and have successfully defended the dissertation. Mr. President, I respectfully request that these degrees be conferred, and am pleased to call on Mr. Stuart Slider to represent the class.
You have successfully completed the requirements for degrees as prescribed by the faculties of the graduate schools of Yeshiva University. By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of Yeshiva University, I hereby confer upon you the respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto. As a token of this award, each dean will hand a diploma to the class representative.
Will each degree recipient now place over his or her shoulders the hood representing the graduate degree? Will the graduates now please be seated? Dr. Israel Miller.
Although these are the 47th commencement exercises in the history of Yeshiva University, this year marks a special turning point in the institution. Besides the 4 newly appointed school deans who sit before you today, the university has introduced deanships for 6 disciplines: arts and sciences, behavioral and social sciences, natural sciences and mathematics, undergraduate Jewish studies and Jewish education, graduate Jewish studies, and humanities. Together, the 2 groups will undertake to chart new educational goals for Yeshiva University. To all the deans and the many other newcomers to the university, we extend our heartiest greetings. I greet as well our marshal, the Vice President for Academic Affairs, who is presiding at her first commencement exercises. We trust that this marks the beginning of a long and happy association with Yeshiva University, productive, satisfying, and fulfilling in every way. This June also marks the retirement of 31 of our longtime employees in the 10 schools. In view of their dedicated service to the institution and to their students, we wish to take this opportunity to single out some of the people who have had a direct relationship to these commencement exercises. Yeshiva College, Dr. Isaac Bacon, who retired as dean to serve as consultant to the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. David Fleischer, Professor of English. Dr. Chaim Leaf, Professor of Hebrew. Dr. Henry Listman, Professor of Mathematics. Mr. Director of Athletics. Stern College for Women, Professor Lucy Davidovitz, Eli and Diana Zborowski Professor of Interdisciplinary Holocaust Studies. Dr. Beatrice L. Friedland, Professor of Biology and longtime Senior Marshal at these commencement exercises. The graduate schools, Dr. Irving A. Agus, Professor of Jewish History, Dr. Joseph B. Gittler, University Professor of Sociology, Dr. Adelaide Jablonski, Professor of Education, Dr. Esther M. Lenchner, Associate Professor of Social Work, Dr. Leon D. Stitzkin, Professor of Jewish Philosophy. To all those retiring, please accept our best wishes for continued strength of heart and mind to carry on your lifelong dedication to your chosen field, higher education, and the university. We note with sadness the passing of the following members of the Yeshiva University family. Mr. Hyman Bessett, member of the Board of Trustees since 1969. Dr. Marie C. Chernowitz, former Professor of Fine Arts. Dr. Gershon A. Horgan, former Professor of Hebrew Literature and Jewish Philosophy. Mr. Harry L. Jacobs, honorary alumnus and trustee of the Danziger Estate, which made possible the campus upon which these commencement exercises are being held. Dr. Irving Lynn, a faculty member for over 40 years, former Abraham Woke Family Professor in English, and a longtime marshal at these exercises. Dr. Nathaniel L. Remis, Professor of Chemistry. Mr. Chester H. Roth, longtime member of the Board of Overseers of Albert Einstein College of Medicine and a founder of ACOM. Their memories and achievements will long be remembered, not only by those who worked with them, but by all of us who knew of their accomplishments. On a happier note, we are pleased to acknowledge the following alumni anniversary being marked today. The class of 1953 of Yeshiva College, marking its 25th anniversary. We ask the representatives of this class to rise with the alumni leaders present to note the occasion. I might add that my own class will be observing the 40th anniversary of our graduation from Yeshiva College at lunch after these exercises. Last but not least, let us take a moment to pay special tribute to the parents, and to some wives and husbands too, all of whom made this possible. Please join me in a round of applause for the parents, husbands, and wives.
There are other awards. The Mordecai Ben David Award. The presentation will be made to Dr. Adrian Kantrowitz by Dr. Leo Jung, Professor Emeritus of Ethics.
By endowing the Mordecai Ben David Foundation, the sainted Ambassador Enrico Garda assured his survival in the memory of our people in America and elsewhere. The annual award was to bestow grateful recognition of the work of any graduate of Yeshiva College or any other Jew whose consistent endeavor has promoted self-respect, American patriotism, and happy achievement among the Lord's timeless champions of righteousness and compassion, the Jewish people. For almost 4 decades, it has been my proud privilege as chairman of the Mordecai Ben David Committee to bestow the award on heroes, leaders, dedicated scholars, and devoted scientists. It is a source of profound satisfaction to present it this year to the prominent medical scientist, Dr. Adrian Kantrowitz, whose basic, dedicated contribution to the life-saving pacemaker has benefited countless grateful men and women of every creed and race, prolonging their life and blessing it. May I offer you warmest wishes for many healthful, happy years of a consistent harvest of your devoted work. Thank you.
University will now confer its honorary degree. Dr. Meyer Spellman.
Mr. President, each year at these exercises, we honor one eminent rabbinic alumnus. I am pleased to present our esteemed rabbinic colleague, a graduate of Yeshiva College, a Musmach of Yeshiva, a graduate doctorate from the Bernard Revel School, a founder and leader of the Rabbinical Council of America and of our rabbinic alumni, a parent of distinguished alumni, Meir Einei Chachamim, Dr. Meyer Fellman, for the degree of Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa.
You are acclaimed by your peers and congregants as a man who has dedicated his life to advancing and preserving our sacred heritage. For 40 years, you have led congregations in Connecticut and Brooklyn with compassion and wisdom, devoting all your energies to the betterment and fulfillment of your fellow man. This is an honorable achievement, and the community is in your debt. We cherish you as a Musmach of Yeshivas Rabbeinu Yitzchak Elchanan, and appreciate your faithful leadership as president of the Rabbinic Alumni. You are an exemplary husband and father, blessed with a family which continues the high moral and spiritual standards you have set for them. They are living proof of your integrity and your commitment. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Divinity honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbols of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
Dr. Sheldon Lee Glashow.
Mr. President, 20 years ago, Harvard University bestowed upon a promising physicist a well-earned doctorate to present that now outstanding scientist who has fulfilled his promise in magnificent fashion, the 1976 recipient of the prestigious Oppenheimer Prize, and I might add, born as a neighbor of Yeshiva here in Inwood, Dr. Sheldon Lee Glashow, for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
In a world rich with scientific invention, you remain, Dr. Glashow, a pioneer. Your lifelong studies into elementary particles have already earned you, as we have just heard, such outstanding recognition as the 1976 Oppenheimer Prize. But your youth, prodigious talent, and enthusiastic determination surely destine even more prominence to a man so revered by his peers. While your professional affiliations and achievements are many, including the prestigious National Academy of Sciences, it is your devotion to teaching at Stanford, the University of California, and more recently at Harvard University, which distinguishes you. You not only research particles, you also reach pupils. Yours is a life abundant with scientific and educational achievements. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma. Congratulations.
Dr. David Mordecai Maia.
Mr. President, the ties which bind Yeshiva and Israel, the land and the people, are strong and enduring. It is most appropriate that in Israel's 30th anniversary year, we honor the eminent physician who was graduated from Yeshiva College 32 years ago with a BA in chemistry, who served on the faculty of the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and who for the past 10 years served with great skill and devotion as Director General of Shaare Tzedek Hospital in the city of David, a hospital whose new buildings will be inaugurated in November. I am pleased to present Dr. David Mordecai Mayer of Jerusalem for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
It is rare for a man to combine such diverse pursuits as medicine, religion, and administration. Yet you have done so brilliantly and in a manner which elicits respect from those who know you. Assimilating your rich Jewish heritage to a medical specialty in clinical and anatomic pathology, you gave freely of your time and knowledge to the first young medical students at our Albert Einstein College of Medicine. For the past 10 years, you have served as Director General of Shaare Tzedek Hospital in Jerusalem, blending again your vast medical and educational experience with the awesome responsibilities of directing a major institution. This year, your Herculean efforts will be rewarded with the opening of the newest hospital on the hills of the Holy City. As an honored alumnus, we admire you, Dr. Mayer, for your perseverance and for your commitment. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma.
Dr. Chaim Gross.
Mr. President, very few among us are given an understanding heart and a responsive soul. Fewer still are granted the divine inspiration and talent, the blessed hands and spirit to record their perceptive hearts and warmth of soul for all to see, wonder at, and admire. One of these few is the beautiful person at our side. I am pleased to present a gifted friend, the noted sculptor and artist, Dr. Chaim Gross, for this very apt degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
You symbolize the image of a young immigrant artist, transcending the poverty of childhood and deprivations of early manhood to create a rich and rewarding life for himself and his loved ones. To honor you merely as a world-renowned sculptor is to do you a disservice. For besides the originality and brilliant technique employed in your art, your talents are evidenced in your teaching skills and in your humanitarianism as well. Even as your hands have shaped great sculpture, so has your heart and your soul fashioned great students. You have never forgotten your humble beginnings in Kalamea, or the sacred heritage in which you were raised. And for this, we commend you and admire you. You are truly a great sculptor, educator, and human being. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, and in token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma. God bless you.
Mr. Irving S. Shapiro.
Mr. President, the American success story is epitomized by the oldest son of Lithuanian immigrants, a brilliant lawyer whose ability enabled him to rise to the heights of industrial enterprise as chairman of the board of the DuPont Company. We swell with pride that in the United States one can at the same time be a director of IBM and the Jewish Federation of Delaware. Mr. President, may I present Mr. Irving S. Shapiro, Chief Executive Officer of DuPont, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
You have always been deeply involved in the businesses you serve and in the communities in which you live. In both areas, your life has been committed to the personal fulfillment of all individuals and the betterment of all of the society. Your current chairmanship of the board and chief executive officer of E.I. DuPont and Moore & Company is a unique achievement both for a Jew and for a lawyer. Yet your dedication to your work, the leadership you provide for many other organizations and universities, and your willingness to espouse unpopular opinions are a source of inspiration to all. A great American leader recently wrote, "What I see now within the ranks of business is a growing sensitivity, a growing sense of the possible, and a growing set of talents to make the system work better." Those words were not only written by you, they also characterize and epitomize you. Sensitivity, a sense of the possible, talent, and constant growth. It is my privilege to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and in token thereof I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma. Congratulations very much.
Dr. Ernest L. Boyer.
Mr. President, our tradition has considered education a divine function. The complex and challenging role of the educator is certainly understood by the United States Commissioner of Education who has had divine help in fulfilling his responsibilities in the remarkably able fashion all America admires. He trained for this demanding post as a former chancellor and vice chancellor of the State University of New York. I am proud to present, sir, Dr. Ernest L. Boyer for the degree of Doctor of Pedagogy, honoris causa.
It was Dr. Boyer who buoyed our spirits in the academic community. Your designation by President Carter as United States Commissioner of Education in April 1977 was widely acclaimed as a wise choice. Your long-term commitment to higher education is evidenced by your successful leadership at the University of California and the State University of New York. In all your academic posts, as both an administrator and teacher, you have demonstrated an unusual ingenuity and integrity, which have intellectually enriched and morally elevated all who have had the good fortune to come under your influence. It is my privilege, Mr. Commissioner, to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Pedagogy honoris causa. In token thereof, I cause to be placed over your shoulders the visible symbol of our high regard for you, and I hand you this diploma. Congratulations.
In keeping with our tradition, our president, Dr. Lamb, will now address us.
It is a pleasure to add my congratulations to those of your parents, family, teachers, and previous speakers. As a token of my admiration and affection for you, I shall be brief. Indeed, I am always mindful of the chairman of a dinner who once introduced me with this immortal gem. I shall not bore you with a long speech. We have brought Dr. Lamb here for that purpose. Those of you who today receive their graduate degrees are, most of you, going on to your careers. The years of your academic incubation are over, and now your period of professional growth begins. But I would urge you to bear in mind the great principle that motivates all of us at this university. Torah lishma, study for its own sake. If the exercise of the intellect is merely propedeutic or prefatory to making money or examining a patient or running a department, then your days of education are now over, and we, the faculty, have failed, no matter how successful you will be in mundane matters. But if your scholarship is of value in and of itself, if research and study are by themselves values, virtues, and personal desiderata, then this marks just another stage in your unending education, and then we have been successful. Let me offer my thanks to the undergraduates, who for the past 4 years, 2 of them during my administration as president, have been so very much involved collectively and personally in the affairs of the university. Your concern and your commitment have been invaluable. Indeed, I hope and pray that both this concern and commitment will continue, and I welcome you into the ranks of the alumni. Moreover, in addition to the gratitude of the university, I would like to extend to you my personal thanks. As the sages of old put it, I have learned much from my teachers, more from my peers, umitalmidai yoter mikulam, from my students most of all. Lest you think I am exaggerating, let me be more specific. I am grateful to you for what you have done for me personally, for the education you gave me, the learning you imparted to me, the advice you extended to me. Even without my asking for it, you volunteered which professors should be tenured and which should be promoted, whom I should retire and whose terms I should extend, which schools to close and which to open, which administrators to fire, most of them, and which to hire, none. Some of your suggestions were magnificent, such as how to construct a budget by saying yes to every request and still have enough left over to build a gymnasium, a theater, a better dormitory, etc. You have instructed me in ethics and enlightened me in morality, sometimes toasting me, more often roasting me. These have been 2 great years that you have given me. Imagine if I had had the benefit of 4 years of your education. In a more serious vein, you have been creative goats, and we love you for it. We join your loved ones in our prayers for your success in all your endeavors. May you bring pride to your parents, honor to our people, and glory to your alma mater. Eshtaked, סיימתי בכמה מילים בעברית, וברצוני לקבוע את זה כמסורת בחג הסיום השנתי הזה. תרשו לי לאחל לכולכם מעומק ליבי, ברכותיי הלבביות להצלחתכם. אל נא תשכחו שהעקרון עליו בנויה ישיבתנו הוא מאמר המשנה בפיה ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. קיבלתם כאן חינוך להפליא בתורה ומדע. תמשיכו לימודיכם כל ימי חייכם, והגיתה בו יומם ולילה. תהיו עמלים בתורה, ונותן התורה יברך אתכם בשמחה ובאושר, בהצלחה ובשפע, בכוחות של יצירה והתחדשות כל ימי חייכם. אמן.
We are about to conclude, and I would like to announce that in honor of graduation, the Yeshiva University Museum will be open to the public all day. Today is the last day that the museum is presenting that remarkable display entitled The Jewish Wedding.
Seems most fortuitous. The benediction will be delivered by Rabbi Arthur Kahn, the father of David Kahn, who just received a Bachelor of Arts degree, magna cum laude, from Yeshiva College. Please rise.
Hachonein lodom das, lamed le'enosh bina. Thou who favors man with knowledge and teaches mortals understanding, may chochmascho ta'atzil oleinu, umi binosecho tevinenu. Grant us of thy wisdom and endow us with thy intelligence. We conclude this commencement exercise with a profound sense of appreciation and of gratitude. We are grateful for those who have reached yet another milestone on their life's journey and intellectual ascent. We thank thee for their parents and families whose loving care and devotion enable them to attain this day, as well as for their instructors and teachers who labor to guide them and inspire them throughout their years of study in this great institution. We implore thy blessings, O God, upon the distinguished president of Yeshiva University and upon his dedicated administration and faculty, that together they may continue to strive for academic excellence, spiritual elevation, and universal progress. And may the students and scholars graduated on this day be not only informed but inspired, not only enlightened but concerned, not only wise but understanding. May their diligence be tempered with patience, their ambition with rectitude, and their success with humility. In a world haunted by the specter of global devastation unleashed by man himself, may we not be catapulted into the throes of cynical fatalism or fatal cynicism. Let us rather be resolute in our faith, steadfast in our hope, and unswerving in our devotion to thy Torah and its commandments. Help us, O God, to hasten that day of divine promise and prophetic fulfillment. Umoloch ha'oretz deo es Hashem, kamayim layam machasim. when the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Amen.
Please remain standing for the Hatikvah and join in the singing. The commencement exercises have been concluded. The marshals and student representatives will now rejoin their groups for the recessional. Please be seated for the recessional while the participants leave the commencement area.
Will the audience please be seated for the recessional? And please keep the aisles clear.